How do you think you guys came out? Nice first period.
Yeah, with so much going on, it could go either way. There's a lot of emotion for the returning guys. For new guys, it's special in itself. Their first game here is a pretty loud building here in Grand Rapids, but we had flashes of good things. We had Turgeon's line and Soupy playing really well for us, and you need guys to step up each night, and they were probably our catalyst tonight and got us through tonight.
What do you think of Turner also?
From camp, you could just tell he has a lot of hockey smarts. He's, I think he was injured a lot last year, and he was excited to come in here and be part of a winning environment.
You guys with deciding the captaincy, was it a team vote thing, or was it just coach came up to you and just kind of told you what's going on?
The coaching staff decides that stuff, but there's a lot of guys in this room that could fill that role. We talked about last year's team from day one, not only the older guys being really mature, but the young guys, just good character guys Detroit's brought in here. And, we as a group, we pushed each other to make each other better. It's not just one guy.
What did you think of your power play? It seemed to kind of pick up where you guys left off last year.
The first power play, I thought we were good. When we get it in and kind of set it up, I'm not worried. We just got to keep working on our entries. There's a few new parts. Sproly's got a big shot, and I think we'll be fine. Street moves the puck really well, sees the ice really well, and there's guys. We have two good units that can make some plays.
Thought it was fairly clean. Couple rebounds to clean up, a couple puck plays, but overall, I think I'm pretty happy with my first start of the year, really. So, the guys look good. Team looked pretty good. We moved the puck around a lot. There's still some things to work on, but first game, get all that stuff out of the way.
How much does it help as a goalie when you get 3 early goals?
Yeah, I look at it both ways. It's good because there's some leeway for mistakes for the guys perhaps in front of me or myself, but also we have to remind ourselves when we come in from a period like that not to take it easy in the following period or the next 2 periods. So, they did a good job of coming out in the second and turning it up a bit. I think they made it more of a game in the last 2 periods.
You've been pretty good at mentally adjusting through the roller coaster that you've gone through in the last year. So, there was so much that whether you were going to make it through the waiver wire and the adjustment for that, how difficult has that been especially going into the first game?
I don't know. I try not to think about it because ultimately, my goal was to be in the NHL to start the year. But such is life. Things change. But I talked to my agent, talked to my goalie coaches. The ultimate goal is to just win, no matter where I am. If I'm in the East Coast, American League. If I was in Europe, NHL, wherever it is, you just got to win and keep building your resume, and you'll make the most of your opportunities when they come if you just take care of business.
Ryan Sproul in front of you. Kind of secret to the team.
Well, I think starting in the D zone, I think his composure's NHL caliber now. He got to see quite a few games at that speed. So when he has the puck behind the net, he's very poised with the puck, and he can make really good plays. And then offensively, he's got a cannon. I think he'll be replacing Fergie with a lot of those goals on the power play on that flank shot. So, he's going to be a valuable asset for our team, and we got 6 really solid defensemen in the lineup. We got 2 really young prospects, and we got a couple other guys that aren't in. But if they were, I feel just as comfortable.
Does this team feel different? You have a lot of returning players, but you also have a few newbies too.
I don't feel different at all. The cohesiveness we already have, and if you hear us before the game, we're hooting and hollering. We're excited bunch, and we do a good job of keeping it light, keeping it fresh every single day. And I think everyone that comes here might be a little surprised at first, but they love it. They learn to love it.
Could you ask for much better help from you?
Definitely can't. I wasn't expecting that from me. I just wanted to go out there and show that I can be here and be a part of this team and produce for this team. And that's what my goal was coming into the game. And I have two good line mates that have great hockey sense and know how to play in this building, know how to play with each other. So it was a good game.
Can you give us an honest assessment of how you kind of felt going into this week? I mean, were you comfortable or not comfortable? Or?
I was very comfortable. These guys, the dressing room guys, are the best. Like, I've never seen a dressing room this tight, and there's no outsiders here. It's a nice tight team, and they made me feel part of it really quick. And they're just a good group of guys and a good coaching staff. So it made it easy for me to transition into this team.
When were you put on the line?
Second day of practice, we were put on line, and we've just been gelling ever since. And I also live with Terjan, so it makes it easier.
Oh, okay. So inside trade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you feel about Terjan as a centerman?
He's a solid centerman. He wins draws, he battles for pucks, and he's got great hockey smarts. He calls for the puck and communicates with. You need a centerman that communicates with your wingers, and if you don't have a centerman that doesn't communicate, it's hard to see blind plays and stuff like that. So he's a really good player.
So you were set out last season. What injury was that kept you sidelines?
I had a tendon taken on my groin and sports hernia surgery, so it was a long process, and I tried to come back at the end of the year, and I was still in so much pain. So it was a long year, and I'm happy to be a part of this team.
Hopefully no pain now?
No pain. It's feeling good. I feel 100%. I'm ready to go.
It's good. It's bittersweet to be down here. Obviously, these guys had an unbelievable year last year, so I want to come in and continue with that. My goal is to be back up with the Wings and as quick as possible. So obviously, it's a great start here, and I look forward to keep pushing to make it back up to the Wings.
How's the knee feel?
It's okay. It's feeling better and better each day. It's still a little bit sore after games and stuff like that, right? With it being in the brace and getting used to that. So I've been working really hard to get it back and trying to be ahead of schedule. So.
What did the Wings tell you as far as your health and what they want to see?
Yeah, obviously there wasn't a lot of games for me to get into for them to see, so that kind of hurt me a bit, I think, which sucked a bit. But now I got to come down here and show what I can do. They want me to be able to get back and break the puck out and produce offense. So that's what I'm kind of known to do, and that's what I want to do.
You know, you were known before when you were here with that shot from the point. With Martin for as long as you're here, can you fill that role?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody shoots as hard as that guy does, but obviously he's doing well up there, and my hope to keep scoring goals for sure.
How do you feel? How long did it take you to adjust being
To what's that
down here?
It's obviously tough. Like I said, with the knee, I haven't played a game in about 7 months, so to come back down and start here, it's bittersweet. But I want to make sure that I work hard down here and get back up.
Congratulations! What was it like to go through something like that?
First off, thank you. You know what? It was pretty emotional. Obviously, seeing how they raised the banner and having us all out there, and I've been through these before. It's a coach's nightmare because you want the players to enjoy the moment, but then also once the puck drops, you want them to start playing. And I thought our guys responded well. I thought we had a good first period. We got off to a lead, and then I got to tell you, Manitoba played really well the second and third. And it was one of those things where it was so emotional. Our guys were getting a bit outworked in the second and third, but we scored timely goals. But how was it? It was a fun night. It was nice to get this first one out of the way. It was nice. It's always nice when you win your home opener.
Can you talk a little bit about Turner Olsen and we're here in this team?
You know what? That line was excellent. All three of those guys played an awesome game. We were putting the lines together. We didn't quite know how things would look, and we didn't have that line together on Tuesday. And then I wanted to keep Campbell and Turgeon together because they work so well together. I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't we put Elson there? And I go, that's a pretty heavy line and a pretty responsible line. And they had all three of them had a monster night, and they probably could have generated more goals as well. So that was a great thing for us to see.
What did you expect from Turner Olsen? What do you want him to
Well, you know what? During training camp with Detroit, just watching him play, he makes smart plays out there. He sees the ice pretty well. He made a great play on Soupy's goal where he had his head up and found him going to the net, and it was a redirect. You know, I watched him in practice. You know, he's a smart hockey player. So that's one of the things I noticed. And, you know, I had him killing penalties tonight, did a good job with that. But, you know, I just like the way he plays.
You guys got like Sarge, Jarvie, and Hronik who sat out tonight, and obviously it's tough for them to crack the lineup. You guys got such a solid defensive core already. What do you got to see for them as young players to find their way into the lineup?
Well, first off, they're going to get an opportunity. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow night or not. We'll see. But you know, if everybody stays healthy, I'll start probably dressing 7 defensemen so we can get them in the lineup. You know, but right now, like when you look at the defensive core, we have 5 guys back from the championship team, and the other guy was in the National Hockey League last year. So it's a tough lineup to crack, but you know, we can work around that by going 11-7. But you know, those guys just have to keep on working hard. Like their work doesn't go unnoticed, and they'll get their opportunity.
What are the limits on the amount that you can use Sproul as he's coming back from his injury?
Well, you know, tonight was a good test for him. You know, it was good to see him score a goal tonight. You know, we'll see how he reacts after the game. We'll see how he is tomorrow morning. If he's all fine, then we're going to keep on playing him. And you know, I'm not concerned with fatigue and stuff like that, but we'll see, you know, how his injury reacts after a game. You know, because the last game he played was an exhibition, and he left early because he wanted to be precautionary with what happened. So, you know, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll talk to John in the morning and see how he feels.
What do you see from power play after missing a few key pieces from last year's team?
I liked that the first goal we scored was a nice power play goal. We had good puck movement, and when you look at it, you know, off that one unit, we're missing Marty Firk and Thomas Nosek, but then, you know, we inserted Eric Tangretti and Sproley, and so it has the same look. You know, you have a big shot on the right side, and that's how he scored his goal, and you know, Streeter's working the point. So when I saw it in practice, and going, it looks pretty similar to the one we had last year with the 5 forwards. And then the other unit, you know, they look good in practice. They didn't get, you know, things going that well, but you know, we had a lot of the young kids on that one. But they'll get things going. So, you know, when we get guys like Bertuzzi and Svechnikov back, that other unit's going to take a different look as well. So, you know, we went one for 3 tonight, I believe, or 1 for 4 because they got the penalty. So far so good. We're running at 25%.
What about Gino? How soon can he come back?
He's not going to come back anytime soon. Both players, him and Bertuzzi, are not making the California trip. We'll see how they are when we get back off the trip. But the 2 injuries that they have, it's frustrating because they could be back within 2 or 3 weeks, or it could be a couple months, depending on how it reacts. And so, you know, both players want to play. You know, like Gino is frustrated today because he wanted to go out there and handle the puck, and the same thing with Bert, but they're not able to. They're not supposed to. And so, moving forward, you know, they're in good hands with John Burnell and Pete Van Zandt from Detroit, and we got to see how they react over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, it's a positive thing moving forward.
You have a similar situation that you had 2 years ago with the goalies. You know, how are you going to play that? Who starts tomorrow?
Tommy's going tomorrow. You know, we only play 6 games the next 3 weeks, so until we get into a heavy workload, you know, it's pretty much going to be a situation we're going to alternate guys. Unless we play a game and a guy has an outstanding game and gets a shutout, I'll go right back with him, whatever it is. Like, it's a game-by-game basis, but I got to keep both guys fresh, obviously. You know, Jared, you know, like he had a great year last year, and you know, he wants to get going, and you know, Tommy wants to play some games. They both want to play, but we just don't have the games coming up in the next 3 weeks. Once we finish the first 3 weeks of the season, then we start playing more games, and the guys can get more of a rotation in. Jared might play 2 out of 3 as we go along. So early in the year, it's always like this. We want to make sure that both guys are going, so if there's an injury up top, Jared gets called up, Tommy's ready to go. So we got to keep both guys in the mix.